The mission briefing was cold and direct. Commander Rostova listened, her hands clasped tightly behind her back. The holoscreen displayed a craggy, lifeless moon designated Typhon 5. It orbited a gas giant in the contested borderlands between the Federation and the Cardassian Union. Intelligence reports, confirmed by long-range scans, showed a significant Cardassian presence. They had unearthed something. Starfleet Command believed it was a weapon, a remnant of a long-dead civilization with the power to destabilize the entire sector. Rostova's orders were simple and brutal. Infiltrate the Cardassian base, locate the artifact, and destroy it without a trace. There was no room for negotiation, no allowance for discovery. The threat was just too great to risk. Her team was the best. Lieutenant Commander Tvek, her Vulcan science officer, stood impassively, his mind already processing tactical variables and probability matrices. Lieutenant Jax, the brash but brilliant security chief, checked his phaser settings with a grim determination. And Ensign Kor, a young Betazoid communications specialist, looked nervous but focused, her empathic senses prepared for the tension ahead. Rostova looked at each of them. She saw her crew, not just her officers. They trusted her judgment, her leadership. The weight of her command felt heavier than a collapsing star. She had to lead them into a hostile facility deep in enemy territory to destroy something they knew almost nothing about. The risk of open conflict was immense. A direct confrontation with the Cardassians could shatter the fragile peace that had held for nearly a decade. That was why this had to be a ghost mission. They would go in, accomplish their objective, and vanish. No official record, no diplomatic incident. If they were caught, the Federation would disavow them. It was a lonely kind of duty, the kind that demanded sacrifice without the promise of recognition. Rostova accepted it. She understood the strategic necessity. The safety of countless lives depended on their success, on their willingness to follow orders without question. But a small, persistent voice in her mind wondered what they were truly being asked to erase. As the shuttlecraft Hermes dropped out of warp and entered a stealth trajectory toward Typhon 5, the finality of their task settled in. Rostova ran through the plan one last time. Tvek would disable their sensor grid. Jax would handle physical security measures. Kor would monitor Cardassian comms for any sign of alarm. Her role was to place the explosive charge. It was a simple, destructive act. An act that went against every principle of exploration and discovery she held dear. For now, however, she was not an explorer. She was an instrument of Starfleet's will, a protector of its people. She pushed her doubts aside and gave the order to proceed. The mission was underway. The surface of Typhon 5 was a desolate landscape of gray dust and jagged rock formations. The Hermes landed silently in the shadow of a deep canyon, miles from the Cardassian excavation site. The air was thin, the gravity unforgiving. Rostova led her team out onto the moon's surface, their environmental suits protecting them from the harsh vacuum. The Cardassian base was a stark, modular structure, built around a deep chasm, its lights a defiant glare against the endless night. They moved with practiced efficiency, their movements economical and silent. Every rock could hide a sensor, every shadow could conceal a patrol. The tension was a living thing, a fifth member of their team. Tvek worked his magic from a portable console, his long fingers dancing across the interface. One by one he found and bypassed the perimeter sensors, creating a narrow, invisible corridor for them to pass through.
All right, everyone, stay close. If you see anything out of place, let me know right away.
Jax took the lead, his eyes scanning every inch of their path, his hand never straying far from the phaser rifle slung across his back. They moved like whispers, their magnetic boots making no sound on the metallic plating of the base's exterior. Kor remained linked to the ship, her mind filtering the low-frequency chatter of the Cardassian guards. She relayed their positions with simple hand signals, guiding the team through the blind spots in their patrol routes. It was a tense, intricate dance.
Patrols are shifting left. We have about 20 seconds to move, Commander.
They reached the primary entrance to the excavation pit, a massive duranium blast door. It was sealed tight. Jax produced a micro-inverter, a device designed to overload locking mechanisms. As he worked, a bead of sweat trickled down his temple. The seconds stretched into minutes. Any moment, an alarm could sound. Any moment, their stealthy infiltration could turn into a desperate firefight. Rostova stood guard, her gaze fixed on the corridor behind them. She could feel her heart pounding against her ribs, a steady drumbeat of controlled fear. This was the point of no return. Once that door opened, they were committed.
Almost there, just another second.
Finally, with a soft hiss, the door slid open just enough for them to slip through. They found themselves on a catwalk overlooking a vast, cavernous space. Below them, Cardassian scientists and soldiers moved around a central platform, and on that platform, bathed in the glow of powerful work lights, was the artifact. It was not what they expected. It wasn't a sleek, menacing weapon of war. It was an intricate sphere of crystalline latticework, pulsing with a soft internal light. It hummed with a strange, melodic energy that seemed to resonate deep within Rostova's bones. It was beautiful, and they were here to destroy it. Descending to the lower level, the team found a secluded alcove behind some power conduits. Tuvek immediately began scanning the artifact with his tricorder, his brow furrowed in concentration. The energy readings were off the charts, but they were not consistent with any known weapon system. There were no indications of weaponized particles, no energy containment fields. Instead, the device was emitting a complex, multi-layered signal.
Tuvek, what are you seeing?
"Commander," Tuvek said, his voice low and urgent. "This is not a weapon. The energy patterns, they are biological. It's a repository of information, a library of sorts. The sheer volume of data is unlike anything I have ever encountered."
Commander, I can feel it. It's not hostile. It's singing. It's a song about life. So many kinds of life. I see Vulcans, humans, Klingons, even Cardassians. It's showing me how we are all connected.
The artifact was not a tool of destruction. It was a map, a blueprint for all life in their quadrant of the galaxy. It was a message from the ancient progenitors. The implications were staggering. This device held the key to understanding the very origins of their existence. It was proof that the myriad species of the galaxy shared a common ancestry. It was a discovery that could end old rivalries and forge new alliances. It could change everything. The Cardassians, blinded by their paranoia and military ambition, had mistaken this beacon of life for a weapon. They were trying to unlock its secrets for conquest, not for enlightenment. Rostova's mission was suddenly thrown into sharp moral conflict. Her orders were to destroy it, to silence this profound echo of creation, but her conscience, her very soul as a Starfleet officer, screamed at her to protect it.
Jax, prepare the charge.
She had to maintain the appearance of following her orders, but as Jax moved to set the explosive, she met Tuvek's gaze. The Vulcan gave a slow, deliberate nod. He understood. He had reached the same logical conclusion. The preservation of this knowledge was of infinitely greater importance than the completion of their mission parameters. The potential for galactic peace and understanding outweighed the strategic risk. The dilemma was no longer about following orders. It was about choosing the right path for the future of all species. Rostova knew what she had to do.
"Intruders over there!"
Their moment of decision was cut short by a harsh Cardassian voice. They had been spotted. Gul Varric, the base commander, strode onto the platform, flanked by armed guards. Phasers were drawn. The tense silence erupted into a chaotic exchange of energy blasts.
Protect the artifact.
She and Tuvek moved to the central console, desperately trying to shield the device from stray shots as the firefight intensified around them.
"You came to steal our prize, Federation. This power will belong to Cardassia."
Before he could fire, Ensign Kor stumbled forward, her hands pressed to her temples. She reached out, not with a weapon, but with her mind, connecting to the artifact. The crystalline sphere flared with a brilliant, blinding light. The humming intensified, transforming into a chorus of harmonious sound that washed over everyone in the chamber. The fighting stopped. Weapons were lowered as a wave of pure, unadulterated understanding flooded their minds.
I see it. All of it. We're the same. All of us.
In that shared telepathic moment, they all saw it. They saw the dawn of life, seated across the stars by a benevolent ancient race. They saw the common thread that linked them all, the shared helix, the ancestral spark. They saw not enemies, but distant cousins, branches of the same galactic family tree. Gul Varric stared at Rostova, the hatred in his eyes replaced by a look of stunned revelation. He saw not a Federation officer, but another being who shared this profound inheritance.
Mon Dieu, it is beautiful. We are all connected.
The artifact had not spoken with words, but with a universal truth that transcended language and politics. It had shown them peace. In the aftermath, a new kind of mission began. Rostova and Gul Varric, former adversaries, stood side by side, coordinating their teams to study the Genesis beacon. The orders from their respective high commands were to stand down and cooperate, a directive born from the incredible message relayed from Typhon 5. The artifact had reminded them of a simple, powerful truth. Sometimes the greatest discoveries are not found at the end of a weapon, but in the willingness to listen. The Echo of the Progenitors had not been a call to war, but an invitation to come together, to explore not just the stars but each other, and in that shared purpose, they found a hope stronger than any weapon.